welcome back, Firewood Addicts, to another episode of Travis's Firewood. And today we're talking about firewood bags. Alright, so a long time coming. This is going to be the bag episode. I know I have alluded to, or I've shown bags on my channel, and I've been holding off making this episode, and now it is time. Now, why I have delayed the episode is nothing more than just, as I was telling Daniel Atkins and my good buddy Livery Brian, I had an idea for an intro, and the idea for the intro was going to take some time. I thought it would be funny, but you know, with filming, it just takes time. So let's get into it. I got a brand new fresh box of firewood bags for Northern Woodsman. This is my second order of bags. I ordered bags late last year, and I was going to hold off to use them to put on the channel, and then I think one day I ran out of wrap to make bundles, and I'm like, you know what, I'll just go ahead and then I'll film the episode later, which I ended up doing. But fast forward months, and I'm using bags and I haven't shown on the channel, which is not a big deal probably to most of you, but I just wanted to throw it out there that I'm aware that I have not shown these bags yet. So I'm gonna put this down. This is my little setup here, and let me go through the how and the why, I guess you could say. So now what I'm using, this is like some cheapo wrap. I'm just tired of it breaking. I'm tired of it not sticking to itself. I'm tired of going online and trying to find what I bought last time or months or like years prior and having it not be available for whatever reason. So I have other wrap too. It's just I guess the main reason why I switched to firewood bags, I'll get one out here to show you. Firewood bags, bags here, firewood bags, is it just looks better. And I'll show you once I start to stuff them. It just looks better. So let's get into it. So, I mean, without having to like go into the actual numbers, and I don't buy too much in bulk. I guess I could, but I don't want to have 5,000 of these bags in my wood yard. I'm still selling them as a side hustle. I haven't gone commercial yet, so I don't think that having that quantity makes sense. But more or less, in terms of like how I buy them and the quantity, is they're more or less. I'm going to round up and say these bags cost $1 a piece. Now, I bought the ones that literally say firewood on them, and I'll show you the ones I have for kindling. They're labeled as such, versus one that they have this blank canvas, or it's just mesh. It's just a color mesh, and that's all you have. And I think it's worth the few cents more to get the actual label that's printed on it. That's just me. If you want to explore bags, you can. And I know that people have tried, I don't have it here, have tried the garbage bin method. They take a garbage bin or a 5-gallon bucket and they cut the end, the very bottom off, and then they put bin or the bucket inside here, and that's what they use to stuff this with. Or ideally they have one of those fancy baggers from Wolf Ridge and the like, and they do it that way. Well, I'm going to try something different, which I'm sure you've seen on YouTube, but this is, I thought it made sense to me. Anyway, this is like a sled. Okay, you have your hands here, and it's the sheet, and you roll it out, and you lay on it, and you go down a hill. This actually is pretty fast. No cushion on it, another unique cushion, but this is old school. This is like literally from like the 90s, and I'm aging myself by saying that, but I had this around. I got this from my parents, and I put it in my garage, and I had it out for my daughter when it was snowing out, and I'm like, you know what? Because this rolls in itself, couldn't I just put this inside the bag like so, and then I fill in the middle of the sled, and then the sled will expand as I'm filling it up. And then when I'm done, I pull up the sled and I have a bag of firewood. Because if it's not obvious, because I do this, you have a sleeve or a bucket or a garbage bin inside here, because these pieces of firewood will snag on the inside of the bags, and you don't want that. You want to keep the bags pristine looking and not all banged up. So you have this little, I don't know if you would call it a jig or not. We have something in the inside to fill it, and both sides are smooth. The side here is smooth, inside here is smooth. So you slip in the firewood pieces, and when you're done, you slip out the sled or the bucket or the bin, and then you got a bag full of firewood. So that's that. So anyway, so a backtrack. Because these are a dollar more or less each, I had to raise my prices. I just had to. So a bag of firewood, let's bag as I'm chatting here. So a bag of firewood is going to be $6, whereas a bundle of firewood is going to be $5. So I'm pushing on the expense of the bags onto the consumer, the customer, and that's just capitalism. That's what you do. That happens. It is what it is. So, and I'm trying to do a mix as I always do. So here's what I thought about. What if I put on the ad or on my firewood stand, you get $1 off each bag that you return? Because in theory, these bags are reusable. If the customer takes care of the bags and I load the bags properly, the bags should, in theory, be reusable. And they have been. Certain customers have returned them. So I have, but if I say, hey, in the ad, hey, bring back your bags and I'll give you $1 back per bag. It's just, it's too cumbersome to like keep track and, I discounted firewood and whatever. So I've only told that to certain amount of customers who I trust and can do math and have it not be an issue. Other ones just return them because they don't need the bags. The bags are still good, and I have in the ad, you can return the bags at the firewood stand. Without, and then I don't say that you can get $1 off. So like I said, there's only a few customers that I share that with. I do have a few customers who don't want to spend the extra $1, don't need a bag, don't care, and still want the really crappy wrap. So it's like one or two people. They when they order from me, they let me know, hey Trav, I want some bundles. I'll make bundles for them, and those are still $5. They don't have to worry about bags, having to return the bags, etc., etc. It is what it is. So I think I have an informal system of $1 off per bag that you return, and so far that's working. I don't get all the bags back, but I have reused bags, some bags, at least once, maybe twice. So far, so good. This bag's done, more or less, so I'm gonna take out the sled, like so, and then I have a bag of wood. Done. Now, I tried to tie these, and it's just easier. I mean, the wood is not gonna fall out. So I just take the inside of the black handle, take a loop by loop, and I pull it to itself, and then I leave it like this. The wood's not gonna fall out, but that's one bundle there. That's $6. Bam, done. I'll put that at the firewood stand. Now, as I'm doing this, let me point something out. So Northern Woodsman has a whole selection of firewood bags and bags for kindling. These firewood bags are 1 cubic feet, and you can't stretch them. You can't really stretch to get any more. You can jam them in, but then it's really hard to take out. So a finished bag can be a little loose. But more or less, these are designed to fit 1 cubic feet of wood. Now, I don't have any kindling to bag, but these are the kindling ones I have. These are the red ones. I also have purple ones. Now, I bought 2 different colors of the kindling, because I thought that one would be for my premium kindling and one would be for my non-premium. Well, my non-premium kindling is only $5, and if these bags are about $1 a piece, it doesn't really justify putting the non-premium cedar kindling in these fancy bags. And these bags, for the kindling at least, are not 1 cubic feet. These are 0.75, 3/4 a cubic feet, not a full cubic foot. So they're a little smaller. So I fill these up same way with the sled with kindling. These bags. Now the red ones are for the premium. I fill them up all the way full to 0.75, where it's really difficult to get them out by hand. But I fill these up, and I still sell them at $10 because they are getting less firewood. Usually one premium cedar kindling bundle would run $10, but that would be 1 cubic feet. These are 0.75, so they're getting less kindling, but they're getting a bag. So it kind of like that evens out. So I do have kindling, and I sell kindling in the bags now. And I use the same system. I just don't have any kindling here to bag. And then for the non-premium kindling, I just use the wrap. Still, I have my jig. I have some wrap left. I use a jig, and it's what it is. So I do still sell that, but that's just the difference there of a bag. So when I first bought bags, I bought the yellow firewood and then the purple and the red kindling one. So having 3, and I think the color coding helps because people people don't read. Like, you know this, like they don't read signs, don't listen to like verbiage. So whatever you can do to help them to have it be as intuitive as possible, do that. So I think the color coding is key. Now the color coding doesn't match the signs that I have at my stand, but at least it helps the whole system, and I think that makes sense. And people do bring back the kindling red bags as well, and with the firewood bags too. They have done that, which is great. So that helps the whole process flow. So I'm going to say that I bought from Northern Woodsman because they're an American company, and I like how they do work. I would rather, all could be made from the same location, but I'm buying from a company because I like the way they do business, and I appreciate their mission. And I'm not in a rush to get these as long as I know if I'm low on firewood bags, I order them because I know it may take a week to get to me. I don't need them tomorrow, but if I give myself enough buffer time, that's fine. So I'm not in a rush to get them. So that's why I went with this company. Let me show you a used bag, okay? This right here is a used bag. This came, my brother texted me the other week, said that his wife, my sister-in-law, was cold while she was home and ordered some firewood. So I made for them and drove over several bags of firewood. Now, this was used, I think, one time. This is a brand new bag, and there's hardly any wear to it. Seeing like this is a little thread here, maybe a little, it's not uniform here, but the top's still good. It's fine. There's no tears in it that I see. All there is like leftover firewood debris in the very, very bottom, but the bag is still usable. So these are reusable bags. So if you buy from me, don't toss these bags, return them, and we keep them out of the landfill. So making another bundle, reuse those bags, rock and roll. So right now I'm mixing, because they call me Mr. Cottonwood. Good old Mike Sherman and I love the cottonwood. It is what it is. No judging. It's a little bit of cottonwood, not a lot. I will add 3 pieces of my cottonwood. I'm going to add 1 or 2, 3 cedar, because why not? Granted, yes, people do buy my cedar kindling while they're buying the firewood bundles, but I mix softwood in with my bundles, and people don't really ask. They just know that it burns, and I've had several compliments on the wood that they like the ambiance and the heat from the wood. So I'm not, but if people ask me, I'm going to tell them what the wood is, but so far, no complaints. It is what it is. This wood here is a little wet because it's been outside for a minute, but it is seasoned. This is the wood that I got from the cool viewer, subscriber, who lives like a half an hour from me. I bought wood from him a little bit ago, so that's what this wood is here. Inside, I usually will feed it in the middle type thing and kind of just like shake it. so it all fits. I do use sometimes the handy kindling cracker to split pieces even smaller, so I can jam them in the middle to make sure that I get a full bag of wood. I think one customer said that she feels, in her opinion, that she got more firewood with the bags versus the bundles, which I'm not sure if that's true or not, but at least within her perception, she liked the bags better for that reason. So I'll just leave it at that. I don't know if that's true or not, but I mean, she liked the bags. Anyway, so what also I want to point out is in doing firewood bags, kind of like what you see on the other channels here, is you have a smaller amount of firewood, and that would have to warrant higher margins. You get more money from the firewood because that's how I sell my firewood. I don't sell cords. I sell smaller quantities of wood, and I make more money. Now, I don't go through as much wood as fast, and that's okay. I'm not in a rush to sell my firewood. It is what it is. And my wood yard is small, but if you've watched my channel long enough, you know that I don't sell large quantities of wood. So, one more bag done. Roll over the edge of the bag, pull out the sled, find the inner black handles, a little shaky, and we have one more bag of firewood done. Let's get a new bag here. Some customers may prefer a smaller quantity of wood. I think maybe perhaps more the kindling maybe, or even firewood. They don't need a full cubic foot. Maybe they only need a 0.75 with their wood stove or whatever they're burning with, or maybe they don't know the difference. But I mean, to us, 1 cubic foot of firewood is obviously going to be different, like visually seeing it, than the 1 cubic foot, right? Between 0.75 and 1 cubic feet is different to us, but maybe a firewood buyer may not. But I mean, if they are aware and can tell the difference, maybe they don't want a full cubic foot. So it's good to have an option there, right? Now, I think there's a few of us out there that have been converted to firewood bags, and then they complain, make the firewood bags and they fall apart on me and whatever. Well, the bags are not for storage, folks. You can't make a bag and put it in direct sun and for 2 months or whatever, and then think that they're going to still be there. They're not for storage. They're for selling firewood. So that's what I usually make these bags. They're in bundles or racks to order. I only had that one section over here of firewood bags, and that was because I had an order for a customer. But that order's gone. I don't have a storage here. I make them to order. So don't think that these are going to last forever. The sun will eat them. So if you have them and you make them, make sure they're under cover, not in direct sun. I think that would just be common sense. So I'm just going to say that. See that right now. Maybe a different point is with the colors is you can, if you didn't have any labels, like, I mean, the ones that don't have any labels or any language, they're just a mesh color. I think maybe you could have them be different in terms of, like, purple is a hardwood and red is a softwood, or yellow is something else, or maybe blue is a mix. Like, you can use them without having labels on them. You can use different colors to signify different types of firewood and species. For example, so I reached out to Northern Woodsman and about their product. I want to thank them, and I wanted to see if we can collaborate maybe a little bit. And the owner was interested, so I'm not sponsored by them, but I want to help them out because I like their product and I do like how they do things. So I will say, per the owner, that they do have bags that just have, they have the mesh and they have the label part. But the label part is white, so they can write down whatever pricing or their company logo or whatever else. That is an option too on their website, which I'll link down below. Also, what they told me is they're out of kindling bag until May or into June. So if you're gonna buy bags for kindling, this has to be on the ground. So if you want kindling bags, you gotta wait for a second, or just buy the different color ones and use that for kindling. For example, yeah, so this is one way I make a piece fit. So this is one other bag, rock and roll, good to go. And they wanted me to mention too, in case you're interested, they have available custom bags, but you have to order a certain amount. I had to read this, sorry. Let me read this for you. We will do custom bags starting at a run of 30,000 bags. So if you want your own company logo, say you sell bags of firewood commercially, you can have your own logo, phone number, maybe a QR code. You can have it all on here printed, but you need to buy a crap ton of bags. And for some of you, that may work out. For me, no, since I'm so small scale, and that's okay. That's okay. I'm just saying that is an option out there for this company. So that's my plug. Don't unsub. Don't thumbs down. It is what it is in terms of the plug. I like this company. There's one more bag here, a little bit loose. Let's see if I can stuff one more piece in here, like so. Now I think there's going to be a code down below on the website for some stuff. So go check them out. I like their bags and how they do things. So, and I think and having the bags be available to reuse, I think is awesome. Now I think I said before, I don't tie these. I tried to. It didn't really work out. And when the people tried to untie them, they had to cut them, which means the bags were not reusable. And I think there's other channels. I'm not the only channel now to convert or do bags. So I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I'm just saying now I have converted, and here's why. But I think, wasn't it Dan at Back 40 that figured out what not to tie the bags? I could be wrong, but let me know if you have bags, let me know how you tie them so people can untie them and the bag is still usable again. So, I mean, if you are environmentally conscious, I think that there's a give and take of using something that is a one-time use, this wrap, and what do you do with this? I mean, you really can't burn it. I mean, you could, but it's not good for the environment. I mean, to go up in the air. Are you going to throw it away? But then it goes into the trash bin that goes to the landfill. So what do you do there? I mean, this is one-time use, whereas these bags, if they're used properly, can be used again and again and again. Yes, they have a breaking point. They get torn, they're ripped. It is what it is. But I think that these would be more sustainable than wrap. So that's that point. And I think that this process here of filling these bags isn't that bad, you know. And yes, I've looked into the Wolf Ridge bagging station. And again, those are not new. A lot of people have them. And so I looked into it, okay? So the thing out the door is going to be $650 itself, right? And then it would cost me another $90 in shipping. So that's going to be $740 for that thing. Now, let's do some math here. If that's going to be $740, now divide that by 5, which is what I sell which I sell and sold my firewood bundles. That would take me 148 bundles of firewood. Now, I'm not sure the math on how many I sell a month. I'll drop it right here. But I don't think I sell that much a month. So it would take me a while to sell that much firewood in bundles. And it is what it is. I mean, that's fine. Again, I'm not in a rush to sell my firewood. I'm just saying, right? So it take me 148 bundles of firewood to pay for, to break even on that stand. Now, granted, when I researched this a few months ago, and I think it's still true now, the firewood bagger stand comes with 100 bags. So that would help pay for the firewood bagger that Wolf Ridge sells. So that would pay for a portion of it, type thing. But I mean, so that's a bonus. I think that's really cool that they include bags with it. So that was a thought. I still may buy one of their baggers, as right now it's just not in the cards. So that's that. I did reach out to Wolf Ridge's dealer down in Lower Oregon a few months ago when I was serious about converting to bags, and they had a bagger available. One that was already put together, and the one that was in a box still. But it would cost me almost $120 more buying it from them than it would be directly from a Wolf Ridge HQ. So what are you gonna do? So at least that's just some reference points there for you. So anyway, that's a little down and dirty of me and firewood bags. I think that using the sled works out fine for now. Again, like I said, I may switch to a bagger, break down and buy it. But right now, I need more inventory to even think about even doing that. So I think my customers like the bags thus far. I've had no complaints. Like I said, I think one lady thinks that she gets getting more with the bags versus bundles. I think they're fine. I think it's a little faster than how I was wrapping before. I still have the jig. I still make bundles, like I said, but I do like the bagging system that I have now. So I guess, again, to reiterate, I converted to bags because they're a cleaner, more professional look, and the wrap is just too cumbersome. If you are interested in bags at all or have any questions, let me know. But for sure, check out Northern Woodsman, I think it's .com, online. Check out what they have available. They have more than just firewood bags and kindling bags. They have other products available on the American company type thing, and I just like how they do business. Again, they're not sponsoring this episode. I just like how they roll. I just like how they work. So those are just some points. Let me know your comments or questions down below. If you agree, if you like bags, if you also use bags when you sell firewood, let me know if I missed anything or have any questions, or let me know how you sell your bags or how you fill your bags, or why you use fire bags when you sell your mini volume of firewood. Anyway, that's it for this episode. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Until next time, remember, life's too short to be a prick, so be kind to one another. Rock and roll, stay safe, keep cutting. Cheers.